Did you know that only 5% of businesses will ever make $1 million in revenue in a single year? It's pretty crazy, right? With all the businesses out there, only 5% of them are going to make $1 million, especially because it's actually not that hard to make $1 million in revenue if you know what you're doing. In fact, my businesses make about $1 million a week in revenue, right? So it's possible. Like, I'm not that smart. I just know some stuff and I've had some good mentors. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can take your local business to $1 million a year and be in that top 5%. And it's not that hard. It's just doing some of the small stuff, right? So what we're going to do first is we're going to start out with the low-hanging fruit. This is the stuff that you can do right away that will immediately make you more money, that will immediately increase your revenue and get you closer to that $1 million a year than you ever thought possible. And the first thing is raise your prices. Now, raising your prices is one of those things that I have a love-hate relationship with, because I always give the advice, I always say raise your prices, and whenever I raise my prices, I always agonize and agonize and agonize. I'm like, oh, they're not gonna buy, they're not gonna buy, they're gonna be like, it was cheaper last week. But no, the truth is that every single time I raise my prices, one thing happens and one thing only happens. I make more money. It's really, really crazy because there is a lot of price elasticity in the market that you don't realize because you're in this bubble of your own business. You could very easily raise your prices 10%, 15% and not change anything. Just change the price, and here's the cool thing. This is something a mentor told me once, is that if you raise your prices and all of a sudden people stop buying, just change them back, right? It's not like it's a permanent thing. Very few decisions are irreversible, right? So the next time you make an offer to somebody, raise your price 10%, raise your price 15%, and they're going to say yes if they would have said yes at the old price. There's not really that big of a difference, right? Now, okay, let's talk about how can we raise our prices even more and how can we feel better about raising our prices? Because, maybe you want to raise your price more than 15%. In fact, I had a course that I sold a long time ago. And the first time I sold that course, I sold it for $997. The last time I sold that course, I sold it for, I don't feel stupid saying this. I feel weird saying this. The last time I sold that course, I sold it for $100,000. And literally they wired $100,000 to my bank account. Same course, but I just added more value to it. And that's how you raise your prices, whether you want to raise them 10 times or 100 times, right? Now, how do you figure out how to raise your prices and how you can justify raising your prices? Well, a mentor once told me one time, and this is very, very, very easy to understand, but most people don't realize this. If the value is this and the price is this, they always buy. If the value is this and the price is this, they always buy. So let me give you an example. Let's say I'm going to try to sell you this water bottle, right? It's a water bottle, right? And I'm going to say this water bottle for $500. Would you buy that water bottle? Probably not. Because in that scenario, it's just a regular water bottle. There's nothing special about it. In that scenario, the value is this and the price is this, right? $500 for this water bottle? It's not worth $500, right? Now, let's say that I'm feeling very generous and I tell you, you know what? Today's your lucky day. I'm going to sell you a Lamborghini, brand new Lamborghini. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not stolen, no funny business. But I'm going to sell you because I'm feeling so generous. I'm an eccentric billionaire and I'm just trying to throw away my money. I'm going to sell you that Lamborghini for $500. Would you buy that Lamborghini? You would probably sprint to the ATM to get $500 to buy that Lamborghini. Because in that scenario, the value is this and the price is this. Now, this was $500 and the Lamborghini was $500, right? The price didn't change. The number does not change. It does not matter what this number is. if the price is this and the value is this, they always buy, right? So all you have to do is you have to figure out, how do I make my value way bigger than the price? And when you do that, they're gonna buy. So here's how you can make the value way higher than the price. So one of the things that I always ask myself is, I ask myself, first of all, what's the outcome that my customers are actually looking for? So for example, my clients, my customers, they are mostly lawyers for right now, and we're expanding that. But I've got about 650 lawyers that I do marketing for. We do coaching. We have fractional CFO. We have fractional COO, where we help them hire employees. We do bookkeeping for them. But that's not what they're buying from me, right? What they're buying from me is they're buying the opportunity, they're buying the outcome to have a law firm that puts more profit in their pocket, that puts more free time on their calendar, that gives them amazing client results, and allows them to have a life that others only dream of. That's what they're buying. That's the outcome. Now, my deliverables are websites and SEO and PPC and coaching and bookkeeping and fractional CFO and fractional COO and all that other stuff. That's the deliverables, but that's not what they're buying. If they could snap their fingers and get the outcome without me ever having to build them a website or run an ad, you better bet they would do it. And same thing with your customers. There is something that your customers want that is not your deliverable. You have to figure out what's the actual outcome that they're looking for. So that's step one, understanding that your deliverables are not the outcome that they're looking for. They're not what they're actually buying. So once you know what the thing is that they're actually buying, then you ask yourself a couple questions. How do I get them that result faster? Because if you can get them that result faster, you can charge more money. How do I make it easier to get the result? Because if you can make it easier for them to get the result, then you can charge more money. How can I reduce the amount of effort and sacrifice that they have to put out to get the result? Because if you can reduce the amount of effort, the amount of sacrifice, if you can make it easier, if you can make it faster, you can charge more money for all of these things. If there was a way that I could just snap my fingers and my clients got all the outcomes that they're looking for, you better bet I would charge a lot more money for that, right? Because people will pay for that. So that's the first thing you have to think about, is you have to think about what's the outcome they're looking for, and then how can I make it easier for them? How can I reduce the amount of work that they have to do to get that outcome? How can I make it faster to get the outcome? And you can charge more money for every single one of those things that you add. So that's an easy way to increase your prices, right? Because again, if the value is this and the price is this, they always buy. Now, the easier it gets, the faster it gets, the less they have to sacrifice, the more the value gets. So you can adjust your price accordingly. Now, another thing that you can do with your pricing that I love doing is introducing a premium value offer. Now, a premium value offer is the result of an exercise that I think every business owner should do, but you should ask yourself, okay, if I wanted to charge 10 times more than I'm currently charging right now, what would I have to do to justify that charge, that price, right? Because again, this number does not matter. As long as the value is this number does not matter. So if I want to charge 10 times more, I need to charge 10 times the value. Okay, or I need to provide 10 times the value. Okay, easy enough. So how could I provide 10 times the value so that it would still be a no-brainer even though I'm charging 10 times more? Now, you're going to come up with some crazy ideas. And what I like doing is I like literally pulling out a piece of paper and a pen and just going old school, going analog, and literally just making a list and writing out everything, every single idea that I can think of. Now, a lot of times you'll come up with some really dumb ideas. And I want you to put those dumb ideas down, because there are no dumb ideas. There's stuff that's crazy and stuff that you wouldn't in your right mind actually offer, but I want you to write it down anyway. Because once you get to your 20th, your 25th, your 30th idea, you're going to see some stuff that's like, oh, you know what? I actually could do that. You know what? I can't do this, but I could do this, right? I can't do this thing, but I can do this variation of that thing. And what's going to happen is you're going to end up with a premium value offer. You're going to end up with something that you can charge maybe not 10 times for, but 3 times. So let me give you an example. For my marketing agency, our average customer spends about $7,000 with us, right? That's our main core offer is $7,000 a month. we have a premium value offer that's $21,000. Now, what's interesting is that we always pitch the $21,000 offer first, and you should always pitch your premium value offer first. And 10% of people take it, maybe 15% of people take it. So what's cool is that right there, you're making more money because you never would have gotten somebody to spend $21,000 with you if you hadn't told them about your $21,000 offer. It wouldn't have happened. Now, the other cool thing is that the other, 85, 90% of people who don't take the $21,000 offer, now I pitch them the $7,000 offer. And instead of being sticker shocked at $7,000, they're like, oh, wow, that feels like a discount. So that's called price anchoring, because you hear a really, really high price and then $7,000 feels like a deal. So what ends up happening is because you pitch your premium value offer first, your normal offer doesn't seem as crazy. In fact, we used to charge $6,500 for our normal offer, and then we raised it to $7,000 just because we could with the premium value offer in place, right? So raise your prices, add a premium value offer, and that will get you way more money. That'll get you a lot closer to $1 million a year if you do that. Now, the second thing that you can do is you can add continuity to your business. If you add continuity, recurring revenue, that is one of the easiest ways to make more money, and that's usually like straight profit because those are sales that you didn't have to spend marketing dollars to acquire. So I own a supplement company, and my supplement company for a long time, we just didn't offer subscriptions. And we figured out that our average lifetime customer value was about $200 for a customer if they were a non-subscriber. All of our customers were non-subscribers because we didn't have subscriptions. So then we decided to add a subscription model. And then like a year later, 2 years later, we went back and we looked and we compared the lifetime customer value of the people that were on the subscription model compared to the people that were on that were not on the subscription model. And if you are a subscriber to my supplement company, you on average spent $350 with us compared to a non-subscriber that spends an average of $200. So a difference of $150 lifetime customer value. And this is spread across thousands and thousands and thousands of customers. I mean, we sell a lot of products, and that is amazing because that $150 is straight profit. I mean, a little bit of cost of goods sold, but nothing crazy. But to get that first $200, it costs us $75, $80 to acquire the customer. The second $150, we don't have to pay that cost to acquire the customer again. So it's straight profit. It's like 95% profit. So that's another great way. Add continuity, and every single business out there can have some sort of continuity program to it. If you have a window cleaning company, just do an annual subscription. I mean, yesterday, actually, my air conditioning company came by and they said, okay, well, it's time for your annual checkup. And they went around, they're doing something in my air conditioning. I don't know. Maybe they just stand there and count to 50. I don't know what the hell they do. They do something, and I'm paying monthly or yearly for it. I'm paying something. Every business can do this. There's not a business in the world that can't add continuity, right? So if you add continuity, it's revenue that you don't have to pay for, right? It's going to increase your lifetime customer value. And it also gives you a little bit of predictability about the revenue that you have coming in next month. Because the worst thing is having to, every month start at zero, right? Like, well, we got to make some sales. We got to figure this out. All right. At least if you have booked revenue, that we've got this many people on continuity. We know this is our average churn. We know all this type of stuff. So add continuity because it's free profit. It's free revenue for your business, and it will help you cross that $1 million mark. Now, the next thing you can do, if you want to make more revenue, is you can make more sales. Now, that's obvious, but how do you make more sales? Well, one of my favorite things is adding a guarantee, adding some sort of guarantee that if they don't get the result that they're looking for, they're going to get all their money back, or you're going to make it right, or something like that. You have to remember, the number one reason that somebody is not going to buy from you is certainty. Certainty that, or I should say uncertainty, that they're going to get the outcome that they are looking for, right? So if you can increase that certainty by putting a guarantee in place that if X happens, then we will do Y, then you will make a lot more money. You will make a lot more sales. So with my marketing agency, for example, one of the things that we do is we actually have a few guarantees. So one of the things we do is a double your investment guarantee. And we say, listen, if you go through our program and you make a good effort and you do the things that we say, the things that are proven to help a law firm get crazy results, and you don't get the result, and we call it the double your investment guarantee. So if you don't double your investment after doing everything that we say to do, then we will work with you for free. We'll stop billing you. We'll stop that $7,000 a month that we're charging you, and we will work with you for free until you double your investment, because we're that confident, right? And that makes them feel really good. But here's the cool thing. The cool thing is that I know that if they do all the things that we tell them to do, I know they're going to double their revenue. I know they're going to double their investment because of the fact that these are the things that are proven to work. So you can also use the guarantees to make sure that your customers and your clients and your patients or whoever you're serving, they actually get the results, because now it's another reason for them to actually listen to you. There's so many times, so many business owners that I talk to where it's like, they would get a great result if they would just stop getting in their own way, right? So offer some sort of guarantee. We do a double your investment guarantee. We even do a free trial. Here's the crazy part, and this takes some balls. If you do this, this takes some guts, but we do a double your deposit back guarantee when you sign up with us. So you can sign up with us and you can essentially do a 2-week trial, right? It's a little bit more than a free trial, but basically what it is, it's $1,000 to sign up, right? And you have to, do a couple things that we ask you to do. And if after doing those things, you decide, this isn't for me, I don't want to do it, we'll not only give you your $1,000 back, we'll give you double your investment back. Double your deposit back. We'll give you $2,000 back, right? So at that point, the guarantee is you're either going to love working with us or you're going to make $1,000, right? That's a guarantee that takes some cojones, but it works very, 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 very well. So how can you create a guarantee that's going to add that certainty? Because you just got to remember, the only reason they're not buying from you, the only reason they're not signing up is because of lack of certainty. So all you have to do is put a guarantee that supports that certainty, and you will get way more people to sign up. When more people sign up, there's your revenue going right up, getting closer to that $1 million mark. Now, the next thing that you can do to get to that $1 million revenue mark is create a referral program. Now, most people do not know that businesses rely on referrals. Maybe not rely on referrals, but would really, really enjoy a referral. Sure would be great if you tell your friends and family about us, because, it's how we make money, right? Most people are not business owners. Most people are not entrepreneurs. Most people don't even think about it. They don't think about you because they're too busy thinking about themselves. So this is what we have to do. We have to remind them over and over and over again. Now, you're not going to go up and just tell them you want referrals, but what you can do is you can leave clues everywhere. So I was in a dentist's office, and I remember seeing a sign while I was sitting there waiting for the hygienist to come back from doing whatever she was doing. And the sign said, something to the extent of, referrals are the lifeblood of our business and the biggest compliment that you can give us. So if you know somebody that needs to have their teeth cleaned, then let us know and we'll give you and them a free teeth cleaning. It was also in the signature of the dentist's email. So by putting it on a sign and also putting it in an email, you're just dropping these referral hints subtly over and over and over and over again. And the other thing is, like I said, people are busy thinking about themselves. So give an incentive to both the referrer and the referee. Referee? No, referee, whatever it is. The person doing the referring and the person being referred, whatever the hell they're called, I don't know. Give an incentive to both of them. I got a letter from Chase Bank a couple weeks ago, and it said, we do our business banking there. And it said, if you refer another business that opens a business checking account with us, we'll give them $100 when they sign up and we'll give you $150, right? So here's the cool thing is that if you know what your average cost to acquire a customer is, you can cut that in half and make that your referral bonus. So like Chase, for example, I guarantee you it costs Chase way more than $250 to get a business customer to sign up with Chase. So if they can get a customer because you referred them and give me $150 and give you $150, or you know what I mean, to give the person that referred $150, the referee $150 or $100, $250 total, that is a massive win. Because now they got a new customer for $250 and you can do the same thing. So all you have to do is make sure that you're always asking people and don't manually ask people. Leave clues, put up signs, do your email signature, different stuff like that, and then give an incentive to both of them, and you will get significantly more referrals, which is going to be revenue straight to your bottom line. That is going to get you closer to that $1 million a year mark. Now, the next thing that you can do, speaking of sales, follow up. Follow up, follow up, follow up. Now, a lot of times we talk to business owners and we say, you just got to follow up. You just got to follow up. And business owners say, yeah, but I don't want to follow up. I don't want to be a pushy salesperson. I don't want to feel sleazy. I don't want to do all that stuff. Well, that's great because you don't have to. There is a fantastic strategy that I use that has made me tens of millions of dollars. And in fact, I told this strategy to one of my clients, and he told me that this strategy alone has added $30,000 to his business every single month. Now, 30,000 times 12, what is that? That's $360,000. That's a third of the way to $1 million right there. So we're 33% with this one tip, right? It's called by the way marketing. And the problem with follow-up is that it feels desperate, right? And there's a rule in sales where if they feel like you need them, then they're going to feel like they don't need you. Conversely, if they feel like you don't need them, then they automatically feel like they need you. This is the law of attraction. Anyone that's ever been in the dating market has probably experienced this, right? But it's just human nature, law of attraction. So you don't want to follow up with people. Like, so let's say you have a meeting, a sales consultation, sales meeting, whatever you call it, with a customer or a client, and they leave. They say, I need to think about it. I need to talk to my spouse. I need to talk to my partner. I need to pray about it, whatever. You don't want to send them a message the next day or call them or text them, be like, hey, just checking in, just seeing if you got that contract. Hey, just following up. You don't want to shout the F word at them. Follow up. Instead, you want to reach back out and you do want to follow up, but you don't want to make it obvious what you're doing. You want to provide more value. Prove you can help them by actually helping them. And the strategy that I use is called by the way marketing. So I'll tell you exactly how my client does it. He's a DUI attorney in Seattle. And essentially what he does is somebody comes into his office, they got a DUI, and he says, okay, here's my price, it's $7,500, yada, yada, yada. And they say, okay, I got to think about it. So he says, okay, fine. So the next day, he'll send them a text message, or he'll send them an email, or sometimes he'll call them, just depending on what's happening. And he'll say, hey, it's Attorney Lance. Thanks for coming in, sharing your story with me. Really sorry to hear what you're going through, and I think we can help you. By the way, I was thinking about your situation. And because you're in front of Judge so-and-so, the best way to handle your defense is probably doing X, Y, and Z. And when that happens, so many times he'll get into a further conversation where they'll start talking about things and they'll start giving additional value. Or sometimes they just pick up the phone and hire him right there and say, all right, yeah, let's go ahead and sign up. The reason why is because you're proving you can help them by actually helping them, right? You will never feel sleazy by giving more value. Just continue giving more value. Continue helping them. Continue helping them with their specific problem, right? Whatever they mention were the problems, give them pieces of information, give them tips, give them things that you just thought about, that will help them. Because then you can prove that you can help them by actually helping them. You're staying in touch with them. You're following up, but you're not feeling sleazy. And the reason that you feel sleazy when you follow up is because you're not giving, you're taking. We don't want to take, we want to give, right? When we give value, it feels good. It feels really good to give value and to help people out, right? And when you're doing that, There's no problem. No one has ever messaged me in my follow-up, and I've been doing this for years, right? I've made millions and millions of dollars with this strategy. Nobody has ever reached back and been like, you're coming on a little strong there, giving all that value. It doesn't freaking happen. It does not happen. Just continue providing value. Prove you can help them by actually helping them. That's how you can get those 5 to 12 touches that it takes to, get a sale, and people will hire you. Here's the thing. Your competitors aren't doing this. None of your competitors are doing this. They're just doing, hey, just following up. Hey, just wondering if you got that contract. Hey, I wanted to see if the email came through. Like, no, don't do that. It's gross. Just give more value, and you do that and follow up, and people will buy from you. And when they do, you'll make more money. You'll get closer to that $1 million a year. Now, another thing you can do, one of my favorite things, it's a thing I got from FBI hostage negotiator Chris Voss, and he has an email that he sends. All you do is you send them an email that says, have you given up on, and then whatever the thing that they want. Have you given up on losing 30 pounds by Christmas? Have you given up on, whatever it is that they came to you for, whatever the outcome is. Remember, we talked earlier about what's the outcome that they're actually looking for, not your deliverables. It's not, for me, I would never say, have you given up on starting that PPC campaign, because they don't give a crap. No. Have you given up on creating a law firm that gives you more freedom? That's a good line, right? And what's going to happen is they're going to respond and they're going to say, no, I haven't. And then you can start that conversation again with them, right? Now, another thing is a pest email. And I love this email. This is another way to follow up, especially when these two things, the have you given up email and the pest email, are really good if they've kind of ghosted you, if they've disappeared. So what I'll do in the pest email, because again, remember, if they feel like you need them, then they feel like they don't need you. But conversely, if they feel like you don't need them, then they feel like they need you. So what we're going to do is we're going to do something called the push away. It's one of my favorite things to do in sales. Basically say, I don't need you. I don't care. Go hire somebody else. I don't care. I got 10 more people coming down the line. Doesn't matter, right? So what I do is I send them a message and I say, hey, Steve, haven't heard from you for a while, so I'm assuming that you've given up on losing those 30 pounds before Christmas. I don't want to be a pest, so I'm not going to reach out again. If I'm wrong, feel free to reach out to me, but otherwise, I wish you the best of luck in your weight loss endeavors or whatever it is. So many times, I've had somebody that, no response, and then that email right there gets them to come back. Because again, if they feel like you don't need them, then they automatically feel like they need you. So the pest email, use it. It works very, very well. Now, another thing you can do to add $1 million to your bottom line every single year is reach out to past customers who haven't bought with a special offer. You got an entire database of customers and clients and patients, or whatever you call them. I know people get all touchy when I say it's a client, and it's not a client, it's a patient. I don't care. People that spend money with you. You got a whole list of them. They haven't bought from you for a while. Reach out to them, make them a special offer to come back. Because again, that's revenue that you don't have to pay for, right? You don't have to pay to acquire that customer. You've already acquired the customer. They've already worked with you. Hopefully they got a good result, and then you can work with them again and they'll hire you again, right? That's a very, very good way to do this. And then if they say, oh, thanks, I don't need your service right now, then offer them the referral thing. Say, okay, well, that's fine. If you know anybody that needs this, we're going to give them this and we're going to give you this, right? Do that and you'll get more customers. And again, straight to the bottom line, closer to that $1 million a year in revenue. Now, another really good way to do this, another really good way to grow your business is to fix problems that you don't know exist. And I read this book by a guy named Jay Baer, and it's called Hug Your Haters. And in that book, he says, in order to get more 5-star reviews, you have to get more 1-star reviews. Now, what he means by that is that there's all kinds of stuff in your business that's broken. There's all kinds of problems in your business that you don't know about. And not just your business. I'm talking about every single business. There's problems in my business that I still don't know about, right? But we try to fix that and we try to identify those problems, because the more problems that we can fix and the more situations that our clients find themselves in that are not good situations, the more of those we can fix, the better the experience is going to be in the future for future clients. And that is going to allow us to get more referrals. It's going to increase retention, so they're going to spend more money with us for a longer period of time. It's going to get a better result for them, which means that they're going to be happier. They're going to leave us reviews. They're going to do all those things that are going to grow our business. So I recommend you send out an NPS survey to every single customer, current, past, and whoever, right? Anyone that's ever come in contact with your business, send them an NPS survey. Now, an NPS survey, if you don't know what it is, it's one of those emails that I'm sure you've gotten that it's just one question. It says, on a scale of 0 to 10, how likely are you to recommend us to a friend or a colleague or a family member? And what's cool about this is that this allows you to, first of all, figure out how well you're actually doing. Like, are your customers and clients and patients, are they actually happy? Or are they just not complaining, right? Because the truth is that only 1 in 20 people will complain. So if somebody complains and their complaint is legitimate, there's likely at least 19 other people, 19 other customers that have had that exact same problem that just didn't say anything. So the NPS score allows you to get that feedback. And then the cool thing is that once you see the problems, then you can address the problems directly and you can fix them, right? And you can actually go back to people, like let's say somebody's upset, right? They say they give you a 1, they're a detractor. And they say, oh, I didn't like this thing about the business. Well, 1, you can fix the thing, right? But then 2, you can reach out to them and you can say, oh, I'm so sorry. Thank you so much for giving us that feedback. That was really good. We fixed it and we want you to try us again. And we're going to give you this incentive, this extra value for coming back and trying us, and just know that we heard you loud and clear. We fixed the problem and we want you to give us another try, another chance, right? Or if they give you a really high score, let's say they give you a 9 or a 10, that's a promoter. Those are people that would promote you. Well, those are people that you can ask for another sale, right? So like maybe they haven't bought for you for a while. That's a great person to reach out to and try to sell them again. You can ask them for a referral. You can ask them for a review, a testimonial. There's so many things you can do with this NPS score that will directly increase the amount of revenue that your business gets, right? So if you use NPS score, and we use a company called Ask Nicely, it's a website that we use, not sponsored by them. We just use them. It works really, really well. But NPS score is a vital part of growing a business and increasing your revenue, because if you don't know what the problems are, you can't fix them, right? If you don't know who are the people that are upset and who are the people that are happy, you don't know specifically who do I target for reviews, who do I target to try to fix the problems that they're having, so that they're not out there talking about how crappy my company is because they worked with us and this bad thing happened. And you know what's interesting is that a lot of times what I found is that the biggest detractors end up becoming your biggest fans. The people that had bad experiences, and they don't necessarily care about the bad experience. They care about how did you handle the bad experience. So if somebody has a bad experience with your company, and that's going to happen, right? Companies are owned by people. They're run by people. But if you handle it in a way that is great and makes them feel really good and they're happy about, makes them feel special, makes them feel heard, they're going to be your biggest supporters. So NPS score, very, very important. Now, another thing you can do is increase the lifetime customer value by thinking, what's the next thing that they need? This is something that I love doing. I love doing this because every problem has a solution. And a lot of times people are going to come to you to solve a problem, right? But then once you solve that problem, that solution is going to cause another problem. Let me give you an example. So let's say you are broke. You're broke and you don't have any money. That's the definition of being broke, I think. So you go and you get a job. Okay, cool. I have a job now. But crap, how am I going to get to work? Because I don't have a car. Okay, well, my problem was I was broke before. Didn't need a car because I wouldn't go anywhere. Now I have a job. And now the solution for being broke is to get a job. But that caused a new problem. Now I need a car. Okay, so I go get a car, right? So now I've got a job. I've got transportation, but now that car has created more problems for me. I need insurance. I need gas. I need a driver's license. I need to wash this thing. I need to figure out where to park it. I need all these problems that you didn't have before, because every solution creates new problems. I mean, they're different problems, but every solution creates new problems. So what you need to ask yourself is, what is the problem that you're creating for your customers or your clients or your patients by solving their initial problem that they came to you for? You can also ask, what are the other problems that are occurring concurrently while you're solving their problem, right? So like, great example, I work with a lot of family law attorneys, a lot of divorce attorneys. One problem that they have is they need a divorce, right? Well, actually, the problem is the divorce. They need the divorce. They want to escape an abusive relationship. They want a better relationship with their kids. They want to start a new life with their soulmate, whatever the thing that they actually want is, right? But then they hire a divorce attorney. And now they hire the divorce attorney, and it's created all kinds of other problems. So first of all, what about their kids? Maybe now they're worried they're going to screw their kids up because they're going through a divorce. Okay, well, that's a great solution that can be solved by a family therapist. So what if you create a program with a family therapist that you get some sort of, affiliate payment, some sort of referral fee, some sort of program that will allow them to solve that other problem? Well, the cool thing is that by referring those leads out or creating the programs in-house to solve those problems, you're now adding more revenue to your business. And the great part about this is that you're not paying for the revenue. And what I mean by that is that every time you get a new customer through advertising, you have to pay for it. Even referrals, you still have to pay for it, because like if somebody refers a customer to you, you still got to pay the referral fee or give the bonus or whatever. But if you can do this where you're solving their problem, this is free revenue for your business. And do this enough times, and you think about what are all the other problems that they have, what are all the other services that they need, then what this allows you to do is either get referral fees or trade leads back and forth with other businesses. And that is going to increase your revenue significantly if you do this. If you find these strategic partners that you can, form these partnerships with, form these referral alliances with, it will make you so much more money. It will add way, way, way more revenue to your business, and you don't have to pay. It's straight profit. It's absolutely awesome. Now, the next thing you can do to get to $1 million, and by the way, if you do everything I've already told you, you're already at $1 million, right? If you do everything I've already told you, then you're going to make $1 million. It's not that difficult, right? But I got a lot more for you. So the next thing is fix your intake and sales process. Just fix your intake and sales process. And the simplest way to do that is just answer the freaking phone. I cannot tell you how many times I've called some sort of business and they don't answer the phone. I get voicemail. And you know what I do? You know what kind of message I leave when I get voicemail? None. I hang up, just like the entire world, because nobody leaves freaking voicemails, because I know they're not going to call me back. So if you just answer your phone, you're going to be in the top 10% of businesses anyway, because so many businesses don't answer their phone, especially after hours. So get an answering service if you need to, and answer your phone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And here's the cool thing about this. When you do that, then what I want you to do is this weekend, I want you to go and search for your main keyword, right? Go on Google, search for your main keyword, and I want you to look in the Google 3-pack, and I want you to notice how many of your competitors say closed. Do you think that anybody's going to call a business that's closed? And I promise you people are searching on the weekend. I know, because I've told so many clients this. Just set your hours 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and you will get so many more clients just because of the fact that you're the only option. You'll get clients just by default. You'll get customers just by default because everybody else is closed and you're open. Some people work the night shift, right? And they're sleeping during the day. So they're looking around and they're searching at night and they see somebody's open. Oh, okay, I'll call them then. Some people work during the weekend. They're off on the weekend. Most people are. They'll do searches on the weekend and they'll call you. I promise you, just do it, right? But there's some other statistics to back this up. They have found that 50% of people will hire the first vendor that they talk to. So just by being the first person to answer the phone, you're going to get half the people to hire you. The other thing, and MIT did a study that you're 800% more likely to sign a customer up if you speak to that customer within 5 minutes of contacting them. So by fixing your intake, by answering the phone, by setting your phones 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, you will get so many more leads and so many more clients and so many more customers just because of the fact that you're available, just because of the fact that you're actually they're able to contact you, right? Now, another thing that you should always do is you should secret shop your business. So call your business, pretend to be a customer, and just see what happens. And you'll find all kinds of problems that will probably horrify you. But, can't fix it if you don't know about it, right? So you got to go fix it. And then fix the problems. And if you do this, you will make so much more money. I'm telling you, you will make so much more money if you just fix your intake and sales, change your hours to 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and answer your freaking phone. For the love of God, answer your phone. Now, another thing you can do to add $1 million, look, we're probably at like $2 million in revenue by this point. But all right, I'll stick with the theme of the video, $1 million, right? Change your messaging. Now, again, what we talked about before is we talked about people don't want your deliverables. They don't want the thing that you do. They want the result of the thing that you do. So stop talking about the thing that you do and start talking about the thing that they actually want, right? And this is on your ads. This is on your landing page. This is on your social media videos, your social media posts. This is during your consultations and your sales calls. Talk about 3 things. First thing, what is it that they actually want? Like, what's that result that they actually want? Second, how do they get it? And then third, and this is very, very important. This is what separates the men from the boys here. What will their life be like after they get it? What do they want? How do they get it? And what will their life be like after they get it? People do not buy deliverables. People buy transformations. People buy results. So talk about what will their life be like after they get the result that your product or service is going to deliver for them. And I'm telling you, if you do this future pacing, you will make so much more money. $1 million a year is going to be nothing. It's so easy when you do this because people buy what they want. I know that's like a novel, like crazy idea. I was listening to this interview with Paul Graham. Paul Graham is, he's one of the guys that started Y Combinator, which is a VC firm out in Silicon Valley. And they invested in like Instacart and Dropbox and Uber and DoorDash and like all these just massive unicorns, right? And they're asking him, how did you pick all these winners? How did you pick winner after winner after winner after winner? He's like, oh, it's simple. We just invest in stuff people want. I mean, duh, you just invest in stuff people want and holy crap, people buy it, right? So if you just future pace, you talk about what will life be like after they get the thing. How many times have I said during this, I talk to my lawyers, my clients, and I say, we give them more profit in their pocket, more free time on their calendar, amazing results for their clients, and a life that others only dream of. That is what they want, right? And then when I'm actually during a sales presentation, I'll go even further into that life that others only dream of. I'll talk about them being on vacation. I'll talk about them, all that type of stuff, right? Talk about it in vivid detail. And I'm telling you, I promise you, you will get so many more sales. Because you're selling the dream. Hopefully you can deliver that. I mean, these powers can be used for good or evil, so please use them for good. But that's all you got to do. Change your messaging. And if you do that, it will work very, very well. Now, the next thing you can do, we're on a roll here. All right, this tip alone will give you a 44% increase in revenue. It is proven. 44% increase in revenue. Get 200 5-star reviews. Bazaar Voice Network analyzed 50 million reviews, and they found that when any business gets 200 5-star reviews, on average, their revenue increases by 44%. So get Google reviews, get Trustpilot reviews, get Yelp reviews, get video reviews, and then post them on YouTube and make the title of the video Smith Accounting Firm Reviews or whatever it is, like whatever people are searching for your business, make that the video title. It'll show up on the first page of Google. Now, the other cool thing about 5-star reviews is that one of the things that Google uses to determine where you show up in the Google 3-pack, which by the way, if you want phone calls, you got to show up in the Google 3-pack. But one of the things that Google uses to determine who shows up there is relevancy, and they pull that relevancy from your reviews. So if your reviews contain words, phrases, keywords, synonyms that are relevant to your business and relevant to your geographical location, then you're going to show up a lot higher, which means that you're going to get a lot more visibility, which means that you're going to get a lot more phone calls, which means you're going to get a lot more leads, which means you're going to make a lot more freaking money. That's going to get you to $1 million. All right, so how do we get words, phrases, keywords, and synonyms in our Google reviews? Well, very simple. I like sending an email with prompts. I like telling my clients, a lot of times people don't know exactly what to say in a review, but we found that the most helpful reviews typically answer the following 5 questions. Number 1, what was the problem you had before you came to us? Number 2, why did you pick us over all the other businesses? Why did you pick us over the competition? Number 3, what was it like working with us? Or what did we do with you? What did we do for you? Number 4, what were the results? And question number 5, how did these results impact your life? And if they answer these questions, you're going to get better reviews that are going to convert better. The reviews are going to tell a story because they have a beginning, a middle, and an end. They're going to get all those words, phrases, and keywords in them. So you're naturally going to rank higher and you're going to get more visibility. You're going to get more conversions because now you have a lot more reviews and you're just going to make more money. You're going to get closer to that $1 million a year in revenue if you get 200 reviews. I've been doing this for 12 years, 14 years, something like that. I've never, ever met a business owner that's gotten a ton of reviews and not made more money. It doesn't happen. Just get more reviews. I don't care what you have to do. Get 200 reviews, but don't stop there. Keep going, right? Now, another thing that you can do if you want to add $1 million in revenue, and come on, you should be well past $1 million by this point. Create content on a regular basis. I'm talking like videos, social media posts. Videos are my favorite, but you can do blog posts, you can do podcasts, you can do whatever you want. And specifically, if you create videos on Facebook and YouTube, like short form videos, and then the ones that do better than the others, boost them. Put like $20 a day on ads behind them and boost them to a 10-mile, 20-mile radius of your local area. And you will make a lot of money. You will become a local celebrity and somebody that people actually want to hire because they recognize you, because they know, like, and trust you, because they've gotten value from you, because they've seen your face over and over and over and over and over again. And we do business with people that we recognize. We do business with people that we know, like, and trust. Because in life, you don't get paid for what you do. You get paid for who you are, right? You get paid for who you are, not for what you do. It doesn't matter if you're the best accountant. It doesn't matter if you're the best doctor. It doesn't matter if you're the best. Is Dr. Oz the best doctor? No. Does Dr. Oz make more money than most doctors? Yeah. Is Dr. Phil the best therapist? No. Does he make more than most therapists out there? Yeah, he does. Because in life, you get paid more for who you are rather than what you do. So what you need to do is become a local celebrity. And I've seen lots and lots of my clients do this. It's not hard. Because you just use human nature. You have to understand most people will quit after like 1 or 2 videos. So just be consistent. The videos don't even have to be that good. I've got some clients where this has worked so well for them and I'm absolutely shocked because I'm like, how did these videos work for you? And it's like, it's participation awards. They're giving out participation awards in this. There's no participation awards in life. Well, yeah, there are if it's creating content and then boosting the winners and people just naturally want to hire you. That will get you over $1 million, just that, right? So what else can we do? Well, one of my favorite things, if you need leads, and notice how I really haven't even talked about leads, but a great way to generate leads is using local services ads. Local services ads are Google ads, but the great thing about them is that they are pay per call, not pay per click. The problem with pay per click is that you have to pay every time somebody clicks. But LSA ads, you only pay every time somebody calls, which is awesome. Whenever we have a client that we need to get leads for right away, like they need leads yesterday, LSA ads are the first thing that we do. We always start with LSA ads because they're super, super effective. Most people don't even know they exist. And it's really cheap. It's not that expensive. I mean, you can get away with like a $2,000 a month budget and you're only paying for calls. So LSA ads are one of the most effective things. And the cool thing about it is that they're available in like 70 different industries. So, and there's a reason that we saved LSA ads for the end, because everything that I did, most of the stuff I did doesn't require you spending additional money, right? But if you do everything that I talked about, there's no question you will add $1 million to your business this year. I want you to try it out, and I want you to let me know in the comments which one you used and how much money you make next year as a result of all this. Talk to you soon.